r/AskReddit, who really fucked up their one job. The CEO of Sears, who thought the internet was a passing fad. As the definitive name in mail order, Sears had the warehouses and logistics in place to be Amazon years before Bezos made it there. One of very few mistakes that lost a company at least $1 trillion. Or the person at Blockbuster who decided not buy Netflix. All of the assassins of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, even the one that managed to actually pull off the job. What a story though. Yeah, Gavrilo Princip would have been a blip in the history books if not for a wrong turn by an ill-informed driver. Feels like a plot for a screwball comedy. Never forget that millions of deaths, 2 world wars, and immeasurable suffering were all started by a teenager. This is my conclusive proof that teenagers are the worst. The guy who sends out ballistic missile warnings in Hawaii. The fact that it said this is not a test was crazy. I work for USPS and we deliver UPS packages as a last mile service. There's a person at UPS that puts one sticker on the box before it comes to us. It's a little rectangular sticker. They manage to cover all of the important stuff on the label 50% of the time. You have a whole fucking box. Stop putting it on the label. Jesus Christ. Me when I took a door off to fit a cat flap. Cut the hole, fitted the cat flap, rehung the door, cat flap was at the top of the door. Make that little fucker work for it? I bet it looked great and functioned perfectly, though. Steve Harvey at Miss Universe when he announced the wrong winner. Steve Harvey at his day job of presenting that game show, just had to ask questions amusingly. Fail. Liz Truss. Took office, went to extreme lengths to take care of her wealthy pals at the top, took our currency to historic lows with Kwasi Kwarteng's horrendously planned mini-budget, killed off the housing market, announced 45 BN of unplanned tax cuts, went into hiding and then dipped out of the job after 7 weeks. She is the shortest serving PM in UK history, and the previous shortest serving PM died in office after serving just shy of 4 months in office. You forgot to mention that she was famously outlasted by a lettuce. Link. That armorer in the Rust film comes to mind. That wasn't her first screw-up either. Other complaints had been made about her on previous projects. Her stepfather is a well-respected armorer, so nepotism kept her in the industry. Typical fucking Hollywood bullshit. 18 months in prison isn't enough for what happened to that poor woman. Especially when we know the armorer had a history of being incompetent and unprofessional. All the cops at Uvalde. All they had to do was go in and take out the shooter. Instead they ran and hid and got more kids killed. The real screw-up is accepting those packages instead of kicking them back to UPS as unreadable. Mind-bogglingly, they were worse than that. They stopped parents from rescuing their own children. Link. What they did was actually worse than if they had just run away to hide. The delivery driver. Attempt to deliver. Got a buddy who said at his last job drivers could never find their address and would ditch food in a parking lot at the wrong side of their plant. LastPass. Their entire business model was protecting customer secrets. Had their customer database compromised. I went to Bitwarden and then changed all my passwords. Gerald Ratner, Link, a jewelry shop owner who said the product his company made was crap and cost his company $500 million in one night. Meh, the company bounced back. They now own Zales, Jared's, and K Jewelers. Michael Jackson's personal doctor. The Propofol guy. And GT, taking Propofol to help you sleep is like taking chemo because you're tired of cutting your hair. Robin Williams. Phil Tippett, dinosaur supervisor. There were dinosaurs in the goddamn kitchen, Phil. That dude from PricewaterhouseCoopers at the Oscars a few years ago who mixed up the envelopes and fucked up the Best Picture announcement. To the tune of the entire cast of La La Land coming on stage to celebrate, only to turn around and tell the cast of Moonlight that they actually won. Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. All he had to do was translate words. Follow around the best baseball player in the world, and he even got to be best friends with him. All he had to do was not steal $16 million from his boss. The surgeon who had a 300% mortality rate during an amputation. Apparently he performed it under 2.5 minutes. Patient died, someone in attendance died of shock and an assistant died because his fingers were also amputated and he got an infection. Robert Liston. Technically he was doing his job. This was before anesthesia was a thing, so the best chance of patient survival was to be as fast as possible. Which he was, it just unfortunately didn't help in this case, lol. Costa Concordia's captain. 33 casualties and $2 billion in manpower required to move the stuck ship. Unbelievable coward Francesco Schettino, who accidentally fell into a lifeboat and abandoned ship instead of helping evacuate passengers. Veda aborto, caso. Asshole had the audacity to write a book painting himself as the hero afterward. A recent one is Ipi Mizuhara, a translator for the athlete with the biggest contract in sports history, Shohei Ohtani. Link guy was getting paid $300K-$500K a year to hang out with his friend, watch pro baseball games from the dugout, and travel all over the country. Drop the ball on that one. The fake sign language interpreter from Tampa that was signing gibberish, people will figure that out. Can't be worse than the one that was at Mandela's funeral. The guard at the gate in Troy that let the horse in. You know, all those soldiers in there were loudly giggling the whole time too. Hiding inside a giant horse is real tee-hee behavior. One of the funniest moments in television history. Edit, Mike Trapp, College Humor, rips a bit about it on an episode of Actually. It's very amusing. Lynette Fromm, who failed in her assassination attempt of Gerald Ford from 2 feet away because she was too stupid to realize she had to chamber a round before her gun would fire. Link. Airman David P. Powell dropped a socket while worked on a shuttle in Arkansas, pierced the side of it, and the explosion launched a nuclear warhead 100 feet. Link. Dude apparently got charged by the Air Force with disobeying orders since he brought down the wrong kind of wrench, and the documentary about the whole thing said he was reluctant to talk about it years later, which, understandable. Refuse bag makers. Your only job is to make a bag thick enough to put rubbish in without splitting. Is it really that hard? But if it rips, you need a second one. Same thing next time. Now you're buying their product twice as often. Remove. That person first in line at the light, yet texting. You have one job. The people who install public restroom stalls but leave gaps in the door so you can make eye contact with the people waiting for a stall. Also, why are they not installing purse hooks in the stalls? Most public bathrooms I use don't have a place to hang my bag, and not because it fell/broke. It's clear there was never one installed. It is a shirt holder for me. I don't like wearing a shirt whilst I poop. Blockbuster. They passed on the opportunity to acquire a little DVD mail order rental business called Netflix and refused to acknowledge the growth of internet streaming and film viewing. They went from 9,000 stores at their peak in 2004 to only one store now, which carries the name only and is mainly a novelty shop with souvenirs. Nick Leeson. A trader that lost $1 billion by doing unauthorized trades and bankrupted Barings Bank in 1995. Deleted. He wasn't even on duty that night, in fact didn't know about the rundown test they were going to perform. However, he was in charge of the radioactive discharge 2 years earlier in Reactor 1. But he's far from the egotistical villain we see him in Chernobyl. The CEO of Max seems to be doing a pretty good job of fucking up a very successful, established brand, so I'll say him. Secret Service for allowing JFK to ride around in an open car. Protecting the man means you gotta say no to what he wants. Same deal with Dale Earnhardt. He had his team install his safety belts incorrectly so they'd be more comfy and less restrictive. No one dared tell him no. Bill Simpson got so much shit after Dale's death, despite the fact his company's equipment failed due to it being deliberately installed improperly. He ended up having to completely leave the company he founded. Cope's chopper pilot not refusing to take off in adverse weather. Cope's not known for taking no for an answer. The inexperienced pilot who flew the plane that Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper were killed in. It took all of 15 minutes for the pilot to crash the plane in a cow pasture. Nor switching to IFR due to company policy. Bill Wong lost $20 billion over 10 days and took down Credit Suisse's prime brokerage business, and he didn't even work for them. He also has the smuggest pics of any human I've ever seen. The assistant who was supposed to book Rudy Giuliani to speak in front of the Four Seasons Hotel. Dan Marino. Laces out. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Arnold Judas Rumor. The Git. Gazpacho Soup. Has anyone mentioned that one guy who messed up with the Suez Canal ship and caused a massive economic chain of events? The one disappointment I have is that the next ship captain to go through that canal after it was unstuck didn't do the funniest thing any human being could ever do.
Hey guys, it's Reddit Glitch. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I just wanted to ask you guys to hit the subscribe button because according to my statistics, 98.8% of my viewers are not subscribed, which I think you should subscribe because it's free and we're going to have a lot more bangers in the future, so subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.